Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Zesty. A little while back I had a request to do a tortilla chip air fryer video, so I thought that I would go ahead and do that because it turns out this is crazy easy to do. This is a super quick recipe, it's super easy, and it yields a very lovely, healthy, crispy tortilla chip. Today I'm going to be using my Instant Vortex Plus air fryer. This is the air fryer that I've always used. I love it and I absolutely recommend it. But of course you can use any basket air fryer for this recipe. So I'm going to start off with some corn tortillas. So for one batch, I'm using 6 corn tortillas. If you want to do more than that, you are going to have to cook in separate batches. You don't want to cook more than 6 tortillas per batch. Otherwise, it's going to change the consistency. It's going to change the crispiness of your chip. And you may have some chips that are crispier than others. So we're going to stick to 6. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to oil my tortillas. I have some avocado oil that's mixed with some other oils. I do recommend using an oil that is for high cooking for this recipe. You can use olive oil, but I do recommend this. So I'm just going to pour about a tablespoon, not even, into a little ramekin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush both sides of each tortilla. It doesn't necessarily have to be a very thick layer, but you do want the whole surface to be covered. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover up both sides of all of my tortillas here. Okay, so now that I've oiled all of my tortillas, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to each one. When adding salt, you don't want to go overboard, but you do want to add, I would say, like about half a pinch for each tortilla. Most of the salt is going to fall off in the air fryer, to be honest, but some of it will stick. So I like to add just a little bit, and then we'll add a little bit more salt after the chips are done cooking. So now that my tortillas are oiled and salted, I'm gonna stack them together just like this to cut them into my chips. I like to cut mine into 8s. You can cut yours a little bigger if you wanna do 6 or 4, but I think that cutting them into 8s is the perfect size, and it's super simple. You wanna make sure that these are stacked up nice and evenly. You're gonna cut them in half like this, and then you're gonna turn them, keep them together, and cut that in half so they're in 4s like so, and you're just gonna turn them again, do another cut until you have 8 slices, just like that. Perfect. So now that these are cut up, these are ready to go into the air fryer. So I'm going to be preheating my air fryer to 360 degrees, and we're going to pop these in for 6 minutes. Okay, so this is preheated now. So I'm gonna take all of my chips and I'm just going to evenly spread them out. It's okay if there's some layers, but you do want to spread them out as much as you can, just so that there's more airflow and these crisp up nice and evenly. And we are going to be shaking these halfway through the cooking time, so just make sure you're staying close by, because it is only 6 minutes that these have to be in the air fryer for. All right, I think that looks good to me. It's gonna look something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these right back in. Okay, so time to turn these. So as you can see, they're looking almost done, but they do need a little bit of a shake. And you can just use your fingers here or tongs if it's too hot for you, just to kind of spread them out again. And I'm gonna pop these back in. There we go. So this is done. Let's have a look. Okay, so these are looking really good. Most of these are crispy. There is some that are slightly soft, and I do want a little more color. So I'm gonna pop these in for literally 1 more minute. So I'm just gonna turn that on and set it for 1 minute. Okay, our extra minute is done. Perfect. So this is what you want to see, slight golden brown, but not too dark, otherwise they're going to taste a little burnt. But this is perfect. I would say that this is looking like a really nice batch. So to finish these off, I'm just going to add a little bit of extra salt right into the basket, just to taste, and just kind of give them a little turn. And that is it. This is so easy, incredibly easy. All right, so my tortilla chips are all done. I've set them aside and put them in a bowl. Now I'm going to show you how to make a very quick and easy salsa in your air fryer. Yes, in your air fryer salsa. You are going to need a food processor for this as well, but instead of having to roast your vegetables on a stovetop, we're gonna throw everything in the air fryer, and it's gonna give us a very similar effect. What you're gonna need for your salsa is 2 small tomatoes. I have about 1/3 of a jalapeno here. This one in particular isn't super spicy. If you are somebody who prefers more spice, you can add a little bit more. If you don't like too much spice, then reduce the amount by half or so. I also have 3 cloves of garlic and about 1/4 of a red onion. And I have here, I want to say this is about a cup or 3/4 of a cup of cilantro. And I also have a whole lime here. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be adding, most likely about half or 3/4 of it. I really think it depends on the lime and the salsa. Sometimes you want a little bit more acidity, sometimes you want a little bit less. And of course I have some salt and I have a little bit of oil. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just cut my tomatoes in half. So I'm just taking out the little pith of the tomato. And we're not going to be roasting the cilantro, so you can just put that to the side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just lightly oil my tomato and the rest of my vegetables. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to these guys now before roasting them. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my air fryer to 400 degrees this time. So we're going to be adding in the jalapeno, the tomato, and the onion for 5 minutes. So you wanna leave your garlic to the side. And after those 5 minutes are up, we're gonna throw in the garlic in with the rest of the vegetables and keep air frying everything together for an additional 5 minutes. Okay, this is done preheating. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my vegetables. I'm putting my tomato skin side down, like so. Ooh. You wanna do the same with your onion and your jalapeno. Okay, so I'll pop that back in. Now that that's done, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in my cloves of garlic in there. No need to turn anything, you can just leave it as is. Pop it back. And we're gonna cook this for an additional 5 minutes at 400. Okay, our 10 minutes are up. perfect. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. So everything is looking super nice, a little bit charred, which is perfect. That's what you want. So if you see any brown, that's perfect. You actually want that for flavor. Okay, so I've transferred everything over onto my cutting board and I've cut my limes up. So you do want to let these sit for a few minutes because they are going to be very, very hot, especially the tomatoes. Before you transfer everything over into your food processor, you do want to just get rid of the stem here. So you can either pull that off like so, or you can cut it off, but usually you're gonna be able to pull it right off. So I'm gonna go ahead and start transferring everything into here. I did roughly chop my cilantro, and a note on the cilantro, I like my salsa with lots of cilantro. This is a bit much for you. You can, you know, take some out. You don't have to use all of this, but I really think that it tastes really lovely with this amount. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. These are gonna be really juicy too, so try not to lose any of that juice when transferring. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all that in. I'm gonna start off with half a lime first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, that is literally it. I'm gonna just taste test it for salt and for more lime. That's lovely, just spicy. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. And let's see, another quarter of lime. So my chips and salsa are now all done. I have a lovely bowl of my tortilla chips here with my cilantro lime salsa. Kind of crazy how easy it is, easy and fast it is to whip this up. I mean, the tortilla chips will take you 10 minutes from start to finish. And if you want to add on some homemade salsa, it'll take you an extra 15 minutes. So you can have homemade chips and salsa under 25 minutes, which is crazy. All thanks to our lovely air fryer. So good. So, so good. So many possibilities too. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like this, you can subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all again really soon. Have an amazing rest of your day. Cheers and bye.